Welcome to another edition of WT, Windows Tube, the show where it's all Microsoft all the time because Microsoft knows best. Now, viewers often ask me, hey WT, why don't you give other operating systems a try? Maybe give Linux a try, and specifically they ask about that GNU Linux operating system. No. I've tried that thing. I tried GNU Linux once about 20 years ago, and I had to compile my own kernel. Think about that. Think about the horrors involved in something like that. What respectable operating system makes you compile your own software? But that's what these inferior operating systems like Linux force you to do, because the Linux guys, they haven't even worked out how to run those .exe files yet. No, I'm happy where I'm at, right here on Windows. I like to pay for my software because those Linux guys, they're just a bunch of cheapskates anyway. They're a bunch of freetards, right? They would rather run inferior free software rather than actually pay for software that works. The freetards, they love to push those things like Firefox and LibreOffice and VLC. LOL, right? I'll take Edge, MS Office, and Windows Media Player any day over that, quote, free garbage. By the way, those of you that are new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, share, send the channel link or the video link to your friends. By the way, the link to this video is 100% compatible with MS Outlook, Hotmail, OneDrive, 365, Skype, Teams. Spread the word. Spread the word about this channel and spread the word about Windows. Let's get the word out before the Linux guys get to them, right? Don't let the Linux guys get there first and subject all these people to the horrors of Linux. You know, things like kernel panics and broken display servers, borked video drivers, dependency hell. Let's get to those folks first. Let's get Windows in the hands of the people that need it. Now, back to the show. So one of the stories I want to discuss today comes from over at Express, and this article is titled, Windows 10's next update will make you fall in love with your PC all over again. They're not kidding. You will physically fall in love with your PC again once you update to the latest Windows 10, because the latest Windows 10 is giving you this exciting new upgrade from Microsoft, and it's designed to make you appreciate your touchscreen or tablet mode on your PC. So, I mean, that's the future, right? Touching the screen, doing everything by pushing big, giant, JavaScript-y looking whiz-bang web buttons on the screen. That is the future. Nobody uses a keyboard anymore. If you use a keyboard, you were probably born in the Carter administration or before, and you probably have a neckbeard. It's an insider preview for Windows 10, and it is known as 19592. That's the code name 19592. I love the name. Microsoft gives the best names for their updates. And that's going to introduce this new tablet experience for the operating system, and it should make using your 2-in-1 PCs a lot more intuitive. There's some really nice aesthetic changes done to the taskbar. You see the icons are actually spaced out a little bit more. I mean, that is just gigantic improvements. The next article I wanted to discuss was from Windows Central, Microsoft 365, everything you need to know about Microsoft's new productivity subscription, launching April 21st with new features and benefits on top of Office 365. So basically, we're talking about the new subscription model coming, right? Microsoft has announced a new subscription aimed at consumers who are looking to keep their life organized between work and home and family. The new subscription is largely a rebrand of Microsoft Office 365, but now we're just going to call it Microsoft 365. And really, the subscription model is the way to go. It's the way everything is going, and I love it because already we don't really own anything anyway. I'm used to not really owning my software. We don't own physical copies of anything anymore. I don't own my music. You know, if I listen to Pandora or Spotify or whatever streaming service I'm listening to my music on, it's not really my music, right? I'm just renting that music. Same thing with Netflix. I don't own those movies I'm watching. I'm just renting them. Same thing with video games and platforms like Steam. They're not really my games. I mean, I guess they are in my Steam library, but I don't physically own those games, right? They're not really in my possession. And it's the same way with my computer. I don't expect to own my computer. Maybe the physical machine, but really the software that's running on my computer, I accept the fact that I rent it. I don't need to own it. Now, once Microsoft 365 actually launches, I mean, you can pay $9.99 a month for the plan, or you can just try to go with a free account. They have a little graph here in the article of everything you get with a free account and everything you get with a paid account. Basically, you get nothing with the free account, but if you pay, what you really should do, you get everything. The next story comes from over at Forbes, and it's titled, Warnings Issued for Millions of Microsoft Windows 10 Users. Quote, Microsoft recently made Windows 10 users a big promise to improve the user experience, but today it has issued new warnings about known problems in an update that it pushed out to millions of users. So this is one of those scaremongering articles, right, about, updates breaking people's systems. I think these stories are often overblown. Windows updates are actually quite safe, but maybe one or two people had issues with an update, and it looks like the issues involve things like broken internet connections, failure to boot, and you know what? Those are such minor problems. It's not even a story worth discussing. The fact that Microsoft pushes these updates so often, I kind of like that, because there are like other operating systems out there that don't update that often. And you know what? For security reasons, I'm glad that Microsoft is willing to push the boundaries and push these updates. Sometimes updates maybe before they're really baked in and ready, but that's fine. I like living on the bleeding edge. And Microsoft kind of has to do this because they have to stay ahead of the curve, right? They have to stay ahead of all the viruses and Trojans and ransomware and everything that's out there, because, Microsoft kind of leads in that industry. They lead in the virus market share. That's one area where the Linux guys, they don't even compete. Very, very few Linux desktop users even run an antivirus, right? I mean, those of us that are on Microsoft Windows, we know we have to run an antivirus, firewall. I mean, we're constantly scanning our systems because Windows invented the virus. And that's all I've got for this edition of Windows Tube. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know some of you guys are running Windows and your machines probably need to go ahead and run that update. Now, before I go, I do want to give out this message, this call to action. Make sure you guys get out there and you spread the love of Windows. If loving Windows is wrong, I don't want to be right.